Hello, this is how to change the chipper blades. First of all, pull the bolt up. Bang. These two bolts you need to undo, which I've already cracked loose, so get those undone. Once you have the two bolts removed, which are just these two, one doesn't have a washer. Lift it up, it is quite heavy. Should just stop like that. There we are. Right, and then grab your 24mm. You need a socket and the big 1/2 inch ratchet. The first one's a 19mm, and then you can see quite easy access here. Just undo these two. You need a piece of wood to block it when you put them back on, but yeah, I'll whip these off and yeah, just show you. So this one is the hardest at the back, so you're going to have to jimmy it in there, but maybe clear out some crap if it's a bit dirty. There we are. Easy. Just crack this one loose as well. Bit of crud in there. You get a screwdriver and just scrape that out. Yeah. And you just whip those off. Now these are the bolts that come out. Each one has two, so there's a blade. When you take it out, especially this back one, I recommend taking it out first, just because it's a bit janky. But if you do lose a washer, do not put it back on. I think they got little grooves in to keep it tight on there and not come loose. So, and also do not drop it down there, because I don't think you want to fish that out. But yeah. Alright, now I'll do the next one and I'll show you how to sharpen them. On here, I'll also show you, this grease nipple does not work, so if you have that up, you're going to have to grease these manually. So just basically smother the grease on all the gears as much as possible. So now, you probably went a little bit overkill on the grease, but they are fairly dry. And you can see that because, I mean, you look at, it's just a little bit worn down. But what I'll do later, I'll turn it on, get the grease going, and lift it back up and see how good it's moved about. Yeah. Now time to sharpen the blades. There we are, now sharpening the blades. So, obviously you might be able to see better, but kind of got a bit of rounding going on, tiny bit. But yeah, to sharpen it, you can either use the flap disc, sanding disc, or cutting. I prefer the sanding just because with this, if you accidentally, you can easily accidentally cut into it, and that's no good. Yeah, I will show you me sharpening it now. So this side here, obviously stones and stuff have damaged it, but the corners have a really nice flat edge where it's a bit rounded with this edge, so yeah. There we are, quite nice. Just show you on the top edge. I had to do a bit down the back, but yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, there we are. The second one came out very nice. Yeah, pretty simple stuff, nice and sharp. So when tightening, you need to get a piece of wood Something like that in there. The ratchet just on the floor, and right, so let's see if that holds. Well, so the Torx spec is just tight, quite tight, but not like ridiculous, like, you know, you're really fucking pushing on it. It's just like a shunt at your body, I guess. And then the same for this one. There. And make sure they go on. Doesn't matter if they go on the same side, if they came off. Just make sure the full flat edge is facing that way. Yeah. I'll do the other one. Now both blades are put on, that can come down. It's down, you can put the bolts in like that. And then now we can just start it up, run it, and then we'll check that the grease is spread. Now we can just let it idle for a minute while it spreads that grease, and then we'll double check it. The bolts need to come back out, just like that. And you can put the cover over again, like that. Then we can have a look, and yeah, you can see the grease has been pushed out. Might check a little bit more in, but yeah. Now I'll show you how to tighten up that fan belt. So now, to do the fan belt, I'll just show you. It's a new belt, but that is way too much play. Just too much. What's probably happened is someone's chucked it on, did it to the right tension, and new belts, they expand after use, they stretch, sorry. So yeah, all you have to do is loosen this bolt, which is a 12mm. You do it with a spanner or a ratchet. There is another bolt, god, it's hidden right next to the fan belt. You don't have to do that, that's not what I'm not going to do that. But now you either grab a rubber mallet or what I've got, which is a stick and a hammer. So get a stick in there, hit it. Oh my god, probably shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. But yeah, you just want to move it until it's tight. Let me find something better. Right, I've got to dig a pin now. Is it moving slightly? And then, yeah, that's good tension. I'll show you. Right, now, just look at that. So way less. It shouldn't be tight. It should have a little bit of play in. Like, that's good. That is what I would call good. And then you just grab your spanner, this one, and just tighten it up. This bolt. You just do it as tight as you think. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Check it's held the tension well. Try to do this a better way. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, and that's it. That's how you tighten your fan belt. Now, the final thing we're gonna do is just run the engine and see if it stays. Make sure it doesn't squeal or anything. Double check. And that is still good. There we are. And that is it. That is everything you probably need to know. Bye.